Hey, what's up everybody? I'm Oren, this is ThrottleWorks, and this is part 2 of the How-To-Rokon. Today we're going through drivetrain. So first things first, you're going to want to prop the bike up so you have both wheels up off the ground. It makes it for easier access. You can spin them freely. We'll let the backside touch because we're working on the front end first. But you want to be able to, whether you have like a normal bike stand, or I'm just using a floor jack and a chunk of wood, because that's what I have. Whatever gets it up off the ground so you can adjust, so you have both wheels available to be off the ground. But we're going to start with the front end since it's already up off the ground. As you can see here, our drivetrain here is really floppy. So I'm going to show you how to adjust that, and then also adjust the tension of your secondary drivetrain down here, which is tight, but I'm going to show you how to do it anyway. So what you need for this, to address this floppy chain here, you're going to need a 3/16 Allen key and a crescent wrench. And all you got to do is the crescent wrench goes into this little collar. You just loosen that up, one side, two sides, so it's nice and loose. And then what we do is we take our crescent wrench down on this nut on the bottom, just like that. And then it just twists, right to tight, left to loose. So just like that, and just a couple of, not even a full turn. I think I went like a half turn, and we're gonna go just a touch past it. So now our drive chain is nice and tight. It's seriously that simple. And then when you're done with that, take your Allen key and just snug it back up. Tight. Good. That's about what you want. You want just a little bit of flex, but not any flop. Okay, next we're gonna adjust the secondary chain, which is this one. And for that, all you need is 2 9/16 wrenches. That's all you need. That's all it's gonna take. So this is a 9/16, and there's one exactly like it on the other side, right over here. And you just hold them together and spin them until they're loose. Sometimes it's easier said than done. But you can see, maybe you can see, as I spin, you can see as I spin this other side, you can see this one's spinning, so that's why you need 2, so you can get them both loosened up. Okay. Once you have those loosened up, all you got to do is take this jam nut down. Loosen that one. And this one. Okay. Just like that. And as I'm looking at it, it looks like we're just a little off center. So, might be hard to see in the video, but we're a little off center here. You can see from what I'm looking at, this chain looks like it kind of does one of those, just a real light left hook. So that's perfect because we're going to adjust this side outward, and then that'll bring this chain back center. So it's incredibly simple. All it takes is just a few turns of this guy right here. Takes a few turns. Push it out. Check it. Looks pretty good. Everything stayed nice and tight. We'll give it one more just like that. And that looks pretty good to me. So then all you're going to do is just snug these jam nuts back in. Snug this one back. Just like that. That's as easy as it is to adjust the front chains. You're done. One thing I do want to point out on the front end is there is a single grease zerk. It's right here. Right there. It's right there on where your primary meets your secondary. And then in there is actually a bearing that keeps all of these running smoothly. So it's super simple, just a simple grease gun will fit in there. And you just give it a few pumps till you start seeing it come out the other side, and you're done. It's one of those things that you just fill and forget. Once a year, maybe, unless you're dumping it in water or highly muddy areas, but for the most part, just a few pumps, it'll last you for quite a while. So there is what's called an overrunning clutch inside of the actual driveline of the Rokon. It's located under the seat. You lift the seat up, and right in here you can see it just looks like there's a stack of washers in there. That's actually your overrunning clutch. And what you want to do is just add a few drops of oil into it. That keeps it nice and lubricated, and its purpose is to allow the front wheel to spin at a different speed than the rear tire. Otherwise, if you had them all locked together like a normal diff locker, you run the possibility of breaking the front end or breaking the drive line or something if it's all locked together in the same way. So that prevents that from happening, because you're doing wheelies and jumps and stuff, and all the cool things dirt bikes do, right? But anyway, that's the overrunning clutch. Couple drops of oil, good to go. Okay, so now we're going to do the rear end, which is exactly the way as the front is, but you can see this chain has got some stretch to it. So what we're going to do is we're going to do the same thing as we did before. Do the same thing. So we've got 1 9/16 on this side, 1 9/16 on this side, and then we're just gonna loosen it. Not that much. We don't need it to be crazy off. It just has to be enough to where we can get at it. And these ones, line wrenches work really good on the rear end. I mean, they work good on both sides, but just being able to get in there and move it is really handy. Okay. All right, so loosen that guy there. So you want to make sure your chain stays in line, and you're going to want to move them a little bit at the same time. It really doesn't take much. It doesn't take much in order to move these things. So I think we're going to go half turn there, and a half turn here. And in that little tiny bit, you can see that's all it took. And now the chain is nice and tight. And on the rear end, you want it to be nice and tight. Not like over tight, but you want it to be nice and tight, because the rear end is rigid. There's no movement there, so you want all of the chain bite at all times. Otherwise, you'll get slippage. I've had that happen where chain will stretch, then you'll get mud or snow or something stuck in there, and then it starts popping and skipping teeth. So you want to keep as much tension as you can without overdoing it. And then it's just as simple as tightening the nuts back up. All right, and as quick as it started, it's already over. That's going to do it for the drivetrain part 2 of our maintenance series. As things come up, I'm gonna continue on to this maintenance series. Whatever that comes up. I should have done the handlebar exchange, but that's no big deal. I just wanna say thanks for everyone for watching. Appreciate the support. Thanks for sticking around and hanging out in me in my ultra cluttered, unfinished shop. But if you guys want to support the channel, you know, hit that subscribe button. I appreciate you guys, and we'll see you in the next one.